Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. I have a young lady who basically is part of the problem when it comes to division within the Black community. Somebody said in one of my videos the other day, what do they think that stops the growth within our community? And this person said unity. And I agree 100% because for some reason, even though we're all variations of the same thing, there are divisions. And there are classes and there's groups and people want to be called this and they want to be called that. Why are we taking Blackness away from Black people? What is the purpose of causing division? If somebody considers themselves Black, they want to be part of the community in a positive way, whether it be just by being a good communicator, making friends, families, whatever their cause, whatever they do. Maybe they're doing a combination like myself. Not only do I identify as a Black woman, but I'm married to a Black man and I have Black children. So I'm furthering the Black community and I'm trying to do it in a positive way. This is the kind of stuff that angers me. You know what? I'm just gonna play the video and we'll talk more after.
Oh, Lord. So here we have a video of a woman talking about, when her Black clients slip up and use the N-word, and they're like, oh, my bad, because they don't know if she's Black or not. Then she assures them that she is, okay? There's never been a time in my life where I went somewhere and somebody didn't know I was Black, okay? If you walking around and folks don't know that you're Black, baby, you're not Black.
This is probably one of the only part of someone's identity that is still under attack. It is okay for a dark-skinned Black person to try to diminish or completely eradicate someone's Blackness from a distance. They're just looking at you and judging you. You're not dark enough. Your hair isn't coarse enough. You don't sound Black enough. Your features aren't Black enough. All this stupidity based upon looks. It doesn't matter how you identify. It doesn't matter the situation that you grew up in. These people are the same people that will probably back up somebody who clearly looks like a man, walks like a man, talks like a man, and somehow they'll call that person a lady. They'll let them identify as female, but you won't let somebody who's actually Black, who came from a Black man's seed, who grew up in a neighborhood that was mostly Black or was forced to deal with and associate with mostly Black people, or went to all Black schools, or they work at a place where there's only Black people that work there. Any situation in which you are in the middle, you are in the mix of a mostly Black situation and one or both of your parental guardians came from Black lineage, you are Black, okay, according to the one drop rule. Now, if you're a white person, a Caucasian, you live in a Black neighborhood, or you work at a all Black job, or you go to an all Black school, that doesn't necessarily make you Black, but it does give you an idea of what Black lifestyle is, because you're in the culture of it. And so it's like people like this who want to try to diminish someone's Blackness just because they don't look like the conventional Black person. This is disgusting to me. And this has to stop, because I don't know if she's making this video from a place of,
well, I've never been considered anything but Black, so therefore, you're not as Black as me.
And it's like, well, no, maybe these people, you don't know their experiences. You don't know what that woman's experience was and why she feels the way she feels. This is just so annoying to me when dark-skinned people attack lighter-skinned people's Blackness. Like, it's just, it gets worse.
So I commented this and I told her this. I said, if people don't know if you're Black, you're not Black. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Let's actually stop and read this for a moment. So this lady's name is Flower Tower. That's her YouTube channel too, by the way, if you want to check out this lunacy. She says, the fact that folks don't know if you Black means you're not Black. Nobody is ever going to look at a Black person and not know. So the person, the creator of the content, said, regardless of how someone sees my race, I'm ethnically Black. So she identifies as Black. It doesn't matter what you may look at when you see her. Whatever her lineage is, it's making her Black. She just looks like something else. And so then she retorts with, regardless of what you pretend to be ethnically, I hope you know not to use the N-word in front of no actual Black people. I would suggest you not. you know, what's gonna happen? You're just gonna pop up out of nowhere and what, fight her, smack her across the face or something like that? Like, maybe there are other black people who would look at her and hear her identify as black and then therefore be comfortable with her if she decided to use the N-word. I personally try not to use it because I feel like it's a word that is not a classy word. And for the most part, although I'm not 100% perfect, I try to class it up. I try to keep my language clean and classy. You know what I'm saying? Can I say it without being considered a racist? Who knows? I guess it just really depends on the person and the context in which I'm using the word. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure most people would look at me and not look like I'm some form of oppression. I'm not some KKK member. So no one's going to really be offended by that. Just like this young lady is saying, oh, well, I hope you wouldn't use it in front of an actual black person. Well, what's that supposed to mean? What would you therefore do? You gonna hit somebody? You gonna fight somebody because they use a word that you don't necessarily like? This goes back to 100% why most of the time guys are checking for chicks that aren't black as soon as you look at them and know, because of this type of behavior, this type of attitude. You're coming off like you're ready to fight somebody. Why? Because she's not black enough for your taste? She didn't even come close to saying the N-word. You're putting that in her mouth saying, well, I hope you would not use it, because if you do, we have the right to put our hands on you. You know, that's so ladylike. That's so attractive to the opposite sex. Men love it when women get all aggressive and want to fight and, you know, pull out people's hair and stuff like that. Like they love it, you know, and it's like no wonder people are checking for other races and flying overseas and whatever they can do to get away from people like you. I don't blame them anymore, and you shouldn't either. Like, at this point, you should just accept it. I'm masculine. This is my life at this point. Like, just accept it.
It's like me walking around like, yeah, I'm white, but people don't know I'm white. Girl, anyway, right? So she responds like, I may not be racially black, but I'm ethnically black. First of all, I hope you know you'll get ethnically knocked in your motherfucking mouth if you use the N-word. So, I mean, go ahead and pretend you whatever, but I hope you know to at least walk in reality, right? But this is the thing. Black is used as an ethnicity interchangeable with the African American ethnicity, okay? Certain ethnicities of black people, they step into and out of blackness. And let me explain what I mean by that. African Americans are those of us descended from transatlantic slavery in the United States of America, right? So I'm American, my parents are American, their parents are American, yada, 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 for generations, right? And this is the thing. The United States of America is predominantly white, okay? So in the USA, blackness sets you apart. It's an identifier. It's something different, right? About y'all stepping into and out of this identity when it's convenient. You all will say, oh, I'm not black, I'm whatever, when it's something bad. A black person is on TV robbing from a store or something, right? But then suddenly you black when it comes to applying to black scholarships and going to a HBCU, and suddenly, oh, Black History Month is about all of us. So y'all understand that black can be used ethnically to mean African American when it's convenient, but then other times y'all don't get that, right? I explained all that for a reason. This woman said that she's not racially black, but she's ethnically black.
What she means is she's not like one of those people that you can look at and know right away their race. With her, this person in the video who's talking, you know right away, like she said, there's no question of it. There's no thinking that she's something else. She's mad about it. Like, and I just don't understand the point of that. I don't understand being mad about someone else identifying as how they identify. Like, what is it to you? What does it take away from you at all? And see, that's what calls into question why so many black women want to take away, they want to spend the time to make a video to try to diminish or take away someone's blackness. You want to point out and say, what is the purpose of somebody who's racially ambiguous claiming to be black? Well, I've got a question for you. What is it to you? Obviously, she sees a difference in blackness and light-skinnedness and hair texture. She's one of those. She's one of those colorism perpetuators. How do I know? Because she's trying to diminish somebody else's black. If you are not a colorist pusher, then you would not be pointing out differences in people. You'd be like, that person is black. They're just like me. They're black, just a different shade, but they're just black, just like me. But because you want to point it out, the difference, and you want to take away and put them in a different category, say they can't speak on issues and try to not include them in this black community, why does it matter? Why does this small clip of a woman shaking her head because somebody used the N-word in front of her and said, oh, is that okay? Because they're not sure. Why does it bother you so much?
Now, first of all, ethnically black means that you African American. I'm sitting here looking dead at you. I know that's not the case, right? But then this is my other thing. It's funny how y'all are thinking of new ways to step into blackness when it's convenient. So you sitting here saying, I'm not black, but I'm ethnically black. Girl, now I'm confused because you would never try this in the reverse direction. You would never say, I'm not white, but I'm ethnically white. But you sitting here talking about you ethnically black, even though you're not racially black. Because I'm going to tell you right now, ain't no way you can be ethnically black without being racially black. You can't be African American unless you black, baby. I'm sorry.
I agree. If you are ethnically black, then you're black. I don't know what that person was trying to say. I can only guess. I can only imagine. Maybe she just meant like, I'm not black to the eye. Like, you're not going to look at me and be like, that's a black woman. Why is it a problem for people like me to identify as black when we've been forced to so many times? Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, I live a life of a black woman. All the things that you feel like as a black woman, like how the beauty standard doesn't feature people who look like you. I mean, the honest to God beauty standard is usually a woman that's still fairer skinned than me, usually still has a thinner grade of hair, usually not as curly, usually has colored eyes. So believe it or not, I'm not the beauty standard either. So while you're screaming at me and people who are light skinned for wanting to be considered black too, because we know the struggle, we know what it is living in America, being a minority, then what's it to you? Like, I'm still on that. Like, somebody please explain to me, what is it to a dark skinned person who is just over there living their life? Why is it a problem when a racially ambiguous or a light-skinned person says, I'm black? Maybe you seeing somebody as having it slightly better than you, so you feel like you don't have the right to say that you live my life. But it's like, honey, the grass is not always greener on the other side. And maybe if you took a walk in somebody else's shoes for a day, you would see that although their struggle might be slightly different, it's struggle just the same.
That just is what it is, right? Back when I was in middle school, high school, early 20s, if you saw somebody like this and you said, oh, are you black? Like, I'm kind of confused. This person would say, oh, no, I'm not black. And that'll be the end of the discussion, right? But nowadays, everybody and their mama is trying to identify as black. Why is that so? Because I really do think it's because y'all think that the reparations are coming. Now, everybody's trying to stake a claim. I really do think that's the case. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he is a gentleman. And maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. If I sit here and say, oh, well, yeah, I'm not racially white, but I'm ethnically white, come on, I rock out, y'all will be like, that's not how it works, Negress. You don't get to just step into whiteness in that capacity. But then y'all turn around and do it with blackness all the time. I just don't understand.
Yeah, thank you for completely ruining that Fall Out Boy song. That lets me know that she's probably around my age. She's from the generation of like the, early 2000s music, because that's when Fall Out Boy was kind of hot and popular. But anyway, yeah, I don't understand what the problem is to you. That's what I don't understand. You want to understand why so many people are trying to call themselves black and come out as black and proud. Well, maybe because times are changing and people can see that the opportunities for black people are way more prevalent than they've ever been in the United States. They just are. And maybe more people are comfortable not hiding their blackness anymore. See, because back in the day, it didn't matter if you were as pale as a sheet of paper. If you came from blackness, you were considered black. And so therefore, your treatment, your place in society was at whatever level it was going to be at because of your perceived blackness. Well, now that times are changing and more people are open to letting black people attain more success and high-ranking positions and places in society, maybe people are just more proud of their blackness. They're not trying to hide it anymore. They're not trying to pass for something else anymore. They're comfortable in their own skin, just like how you want to be comfortable in your blackness. Well, I want to be comfortable in my blackness too. My light skin, but still blackness. Okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm still a black woman. When it comes down to statistics, when it's read on paper, They're going to put me in the same category as you when they're trying to figure out all these different statistics of life when it comes to black females. I'm going to be in the category with you. I'm not going to be in the category with Becky. I bet your lucky charms that. So you guys definitely leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. What is it with these dark-skinned women always having a problem with racially ambiguous women considering themselves black? You tell me what you think about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys have any suggestions, don't forget to hit me up in my email, visionsofnebula@gmail.com. And I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you next time.